11:47 p.m. You're lying in bed, scrolling through your phone, searching for an answer. The strategy that will finally make homework less painful. The book that will explain why your child can't focus. The intervention that will make reading click. You find something promising. You screenshot it. You tell yourself, tomorrow. I'll try this tomorrow. And maybe you do. Maybe it works for 3 days, and then it stops working. And you're back here, late at night, searching again. Wondering what's wrong with you that you just can't figure this out. But here's the truth. Nothing's wrong with you. Your brain is doing exactly what it's wired to do. And once you understand why, everything changes. If you're new here, welcome to Learning in a Distracted World. I'm Kelly Sutherland, teacher, reading specialist, and parent to a child with dyslexia. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this series is going to challenge how you think about supporting struggling learners. This is episode 1 of the Mindset Shift series. And if you want to know more about this community and what we're building here, check out the community video linked in the description. That's where I explain the whole vision. But right now, let's talk about why nothing you try seems to work for long. The quick fix trap. Here's what happens. You're exhausted, child struggling, and you need something to change. So you Google, you scroll, you ask Facebook groups, and someone says, try this. It worked for us. You feel hope. Finally, a solution. You buy the planner, download the app, print the behavior chart, and it works for 3 days. Maybe a week. Your child uses the planner on Monday, forgets it on Tuesday, refuses it by Thursday. The app sits unopened, the behavior chart ends up in the recycling. And now you feel worse than before because if it worked for everyone else, what's wrong with you that you couldn't make it work? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with you. The strategy didn't fail because you did it wrong. It failed because quick fixes aren't designed for long-term change. They're designed to make you feel better right now. And your brain is wired to crave immediate relief. You know, this is exactly what I talk about in my video, Stop Wasting Money, the strategic shopping guide. People will buy 47 different organizational tools thinking the right tool is what they need. But if you're buying them from a place of desperation and quick fix mentality, the tools don't work because the problem was never the tools. The problem is the pattern. Your dopamine-seeking brain. Let me explain what's actually happening in your brain. When you're stressed, searching for solutions, your brain is in threat detection mode. It's looking for anything that will reduce the discomfort you're feeling. And when you find a new strategy, something promising, something that might work, your brain releases dopamine. That little hit of hope, that feeling of, yes, this is it. This will fix it. That dopamine feels good. And so your brain learns searching equals relief. New strategy equals hope. And the more stressed you are, the more your brain craves that dopamine hit. But here's the problem. Actually implementing the strategy, that's hard. That requires energy, consistency, and time. Your brain doesn't get the same dopamine reward from doing the work that it got from finding the solution. So you abandon it and go looking for the next thing. It's not a character flaw. It's neuroscience you got excited about and then abandoned. Because here's the thing. You're not alone in this. And naming the pattern is the first step to changing it, which is exactly what we're going to do in this series. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that now because the next 4 videos in this series build on this foundation, and you won't want to miss them. The real problem. So if quick fixes don't work, what does? Before I answer that, we need to talk about why quick fixes are so appealing. They promise transformation without requiring change. You don't have to examine your systems. You don't have to shift your mindset. You don't have to do anything uncomfortable. You just implement the strategy, and magically, everything gets better. Except it doesn't work that way. Real change, the kind that actually sticks, requires us to change. Not just what we do, but how we think, how we see our kids, and how we see ourselves. And that's uncomfortable. So we avoid it. We stay in a cycle of searching, trying, abandoning, searching, trying, abandoning, because it feels easier than actually changing. And look, I get it. You're exhausted. You don't have energy for deep, systematic change. You just want homework to be less painful. You want bedtime to be less of a battle. I hear you. But what if I told you the path to less pain isn't more strategies? It's a mindset shift. It's understanding why you're stuck in this cycle and then building systems that actually support sustainable change. That's what this series is about. What actually works. So here's what does work. 1, recognizing the pattern. You just did that. You know that your brain is wired to seek quick fixes. You can start noticing when you're doing it. 2, getting curious instead of critical. When you find yourself searching at 11:47 p.m., instead of thinking, why am I like this? Ask, what am I really needing right now? Usually it's not another strategy. It's support, rest, permission to stop trying so hard. 3, building systems, not implementing strategies. Strategies are things you do. Systems are the structures that make strategies sustainable. We're going to build systems together in this series. And here's what's important. This is exactly what the Homework Piece Toolkit is designed to teach. It's not about trying one more strategy. It's about understanding how to build the systems that work with your brain instead of against it. The framework teaches systematic thinking, which is a completely different approach than the strategy hopping cycle you're in right now, shifting from shame to compassion. Because when you shame yourself for failing another strategy, you don't create change, you create more shame. And shame makes everything harder. If you're ready to break this cycle, I've created a free guide called the Homework Breakthrough Starter Guide. It's linked in the description below. When you download it, you'll join my email list, which means you'll get weekly support and resources to help you actually implement what you're learning in these videos. Don't skip this. The guide gives you the framework for building systems instead of just trying strategies. It's the foundation that everything else builds on. What's next in the series? Here's what's coming in the Mindset Shift series. Episode 2, when you share your child's symptoms. What happens when you have ADHD or dyslexia too, and how that changes everything. Episode 3, Teacher-Parent Inside Battle. For those of you who are both teacher and parent, and the conflict that creates. Episode 4, the version of you they actually need. This is where I share my personal story about meeting my bonus son and making every mistake you can make. Episode 5, Breaking the Perfection Cycle, because perfectionism is the hidden enemy making all of this harder. These videos build on each other, so watch them in order. Leave comments, tell me what resonates, and ask questions. And most importantly, don't do this alone. Think about other parents at your kids' school, teacher friends you have. Those people in your life also navigating learning differences. Bring them here. Share this video. Text them. Hey, I found something that's actually helpful. Want to watch the series together? Because when you're learning alongside someone else, when you're implementing together, when you have built in accountability, that's when things actually stick. You create your own little support network. And honestly, that might be the most valuable thing you do. The invitation. So here's where we are. You know why you keep seeking quick fixes. You understand it's not a character flaw. It's how your brain is wired. And you know that real change requires something different. A mindset shift. New systems, not just new strategies. And support from people who get it. And that's what this community is about. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It helps other families find these videos. Leave a comment and tell me, what strategy did you most recently get excited about? How long did it last? What do you think you were really needing when you went searching for it? I read the comments, and your answers help shape the content I create next. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on the notification. Download the free guide in the description. And share this video with someone who needs it. Because the more people who understand this pattern, the more we can all stop shaming ourselves and start actually changing. In the next video, we're going to talk about what happens when you're not just supporting a child with ADHD or dyslexia. You have it too. And how that changes everything. I'll see you there.